Good day, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your metal market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for Monday, and this is the 20th of September, 2023. And the time right now, 6:10 p.m. Central Time. So the Fed came out, and instead of me having to repeat this on every one of the videos I'm going to do, I'll keep it very light here and do a heavier rendition in my futures market video. Is that okay? Let's make it okay. Suffice to say, the Fed came out still hawkish. What that did is the metal markets, remember, they settle at 12:30 p.m. before the Fed comes out with the statement at 1 p.m. and then the press conference at 1:30. So they're reacting to the fact that they simply guessed wrong. Traders drove the market up, hoping the Fed would be a lot more dovish. They came out more hawkish. That kicked the dollar up. And you're going to say to me, but Ira, the dollar's down. Again, these are settlement prices well before what went on with the Fed. That's why you're getting all the currencies down. The dollar should open a bit higher. What you can see in real time is you're adding yield on both the 10 and the 5-year. These are big moves, carrying the markets to some breakout numbers. You got to be careful here. As that keeps going higher, it weighs on everything, and it's not a friend of the metal markets because it keeps the dollar high. Higher interest rates are an enemy. It's like a vacuum cleaner sucking out money. Why do I want to own the metals right here? Now, ultimately, when the dollar does peak, you want to be long those metals. There's no question about it. I'm not sure it's right now. So as you and I take a look, and this is a weekly chart of closes, all we've done is rallied back up and challenging the 18-week moving average of closes, and this is a weekly chart of closes, and that's what you've done. You're in a resistance zone. When we take a look at the daily chart, if you'll recall, I showed you how the market had broken straight down, came up for about a 50% correction, been stuck there a little bit, and it's still there. Are we trending? We are not. You have a pattern of, if I come over here, a higher high and a lower low. Now, take a look at this. Let's assume that was where you're at. You've still got that. If you take out the lows of Tuesday, it's bad because you have an outside day up. And if you take that out, sometimes you start looking what's on the downside underneath me. The good news, there's a good and a bad here. Normally, it gets stuck at a major moving average. And literally, because of how you did this, let's go back a day and you could see this real clear here. 1950.40 is the 18-day average of closes. The low is 1948.60, and you're here. So you got to ask yourself, can the market break from here is the big question. I can't answer that for you. If it does, it goes to the Bollinger Band potentially. It could also just hang at the 18-day average. I'm not comfortable with what I'm seeing there. When we come over to momentum, the momentum market was pointing up, and you can see tonight it's just sort of drifting back right here. In the gold-silver ratio, I don't know that I like this in silver. I kept it in gold normally. I think I'll go back there. But in looking at where it's at, the market trying to come up a little bit, as you can see, on what it's doing. And silver rallied right where I thought it was going to fail. The 18-day average of closes. Why? This is what you call a bear market rally. Why a bear? My definition of bias determines the way I look at a market. When a market's under the red line, which is the 18-day average of closes, I have a negative bias. If a market's bouncing, ideally off a Bollinger Band, and the swing lines turn up, I'm looking for, typically, the closest main moving average, a 50-day, a 45-day, a 200, a 100, to be the resistance, the goal of the market, and for it to stall there. It's exactly what the market did today, and it's backing off a little bit from there. In the copper market, what we have is a higher high, lower low market, not doing an awful lot one way or the other. And in the platinum, as I told you, I'm surprised, and I've said it to you every day this week. I keep looking, the auto strike is growing. Stellantis laid off on their own. They had to lay off people at other plants, and now GM is doing the same because you can't get the parts. And then come Friday, it's going to be like that old movie, High Noon, where Gary Cooper is going to meet this big bad Frank guy which is the head of the UAW. I'm making this up, of course, but it is a real movie. And they're going to duke it out in the street. And basically what's going to happen is I don't see the big three autos going and giving what the union workers want. So I think you're going to see the strikes spread. I'd be shocked that they come up and they offer what they want. They're too far apart. And there's got to be more pain on both sides as I'm seeing it. And this gentleman, Fain, wants the fight. They're going to give it to him. That's my take on what's going to happen. Doesn't mean I'm right. And in the dollar, you can see how we're climbing up still, trying to hang in here. You got an embedded reading. I wouldn't be surprised if you still try the 105.55 level before all is said and done. I want to remind you, tonight I've done a pretty good write-up on how I see all this playing out. If you don't get my full research, I'd love to give it to you for a short period for you to try out if you haven't done so already. Free trial, you'll get my morning subscriber video, you get my written updates to go along with everything. Special reports, which I will be doing now that we've gotten this out of the way, they're all included in this. So how do you get it? It's so simple. You go to our website at iraepstein.com under free offers, do it, and choose some of the other ones while you're there. Or you can move your cursor to the very top up here, and at any point you'll see there the cursor, give that a click, and away you go. It all comes in very, very simple. And from there, you just start figuring out, gee, I want to do this, I want to do that. How do I work with everything? Away you go with it. So if you have questions, you can always call my staff. You can go to iraepstein.com, free offers, move your cursor up there. I'm Ira. I'll see you in the morning, and I'll have a lot more to say about everything if you go to the futures market video. Take care.